So to describe what you were just saying, the more or less in Roll20, you can drop little icons that represent status effects on the
Yes.
characters. The same exact idea, but it's like status. It's like details about them. So the one you're saying is like a threat level, which we can assign colors to. So it's like threat
Yeah.
level orange or
It'd
red.
be like amber, I think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go like a threat level that's concerning, like we don't know, but very concerning, as well as potential sniper, is what you were saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other
Definitely
one,
more
it was like
attention to
more
the
of a
sniper.
7 and threat level unknown. Okay.
There are people there. My assumption would be that that's people who used to live here, and that's their sole protector
Cool.
person, man.
Cool. So, Carmine, what do you do with this information? Once again, the glitter came from the nearest one. That building is probably about 30 meters away from you. The building itself is 4 stories tall, but the top story is missing part of the roof. He's still on that roof, but missing part of it. And the side of the building on the side that's facing closer to you happens to have part of it blasted open.
All right, I would like to try to get as close as possible without actually revealing any part of myself. I have no intention of showing myself to him now that we know that he's there and watching us.
Sure. So, assuming that he hasn't noticed you yet, you want to try to like sneak your way over there. Now,
Well, I'm working with the assumption that he has actually noticed me.
oh, okay, terrific.
Assuming the worst, basically.
Assuming the worst. So the problem is to get exactly where he is. Do me a favor. Roll for me a. Once again, you can do a perception intelligence check as you're plotting a course, or a sneak intelligence check.
I'm definitely going with perception for no particular reason.
While that's rolling, I have looked it up. It has the drone has UV, IR, complete visual package, remote sound sensors, radiation and chemical sensors, which is pretty useful on this planet. And it can focus on conversations and facial expressions up to 2 kilometers away, so it can read lips and stuff like that.
But
and I imagine something I definitely would do 2 kilometers.
Yeah. Oh,
so
holy shit! It can read lips 2 kilometers away.
Yeah. Something I would definitely have it doing is recording the face of everyone it sees, very Big Brother style.
I'm gonna give you more information in a second. Keep going.
But yeah, that's that.
Okay, so if you can read the expressions of things 2 kilometers away, like you guys were halfway still in the range of Lena, and you can look back and see she get RBF going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's pretty impressive. So when you do that, one of the things that you can read for the facial expression, so actually, because you can see that before I get to Carmen, I'm going to go back to you. Roll for me a perception charisma check, please.
So now we can see the facial expression on the heat signature, no less.
Yeah, that's...
I imagine that would be very hard to do, but it would definitely be software in it.
Yep. So you can definitely notice that the faces of the other 7 are they're kind of blurred and whatnot, so it's hard to see them because there's so many close together. And they're kind of like huddled up and whatnot, and sometimes their head's like inside their arm or whatever. But so it's hard to see their facial expressions. But you can definitely tell the facial expression of that one person seems to just be focused. They don't seem to be like scared or happy or anything like that. No extremes. It seems to just be focused or a muted expression at the moment. The other ones, again, it's hard to tell because they're all balled up, you know? At least one of them shows fear, but that's all you get with your 6. All right, back to you, Carmine. You look around with your intelligence, trying to plot out the best course. One of the things that you can see is for a fact you can get over there, and for the 30-meter gap, a solid 25 of those meters are completely behind cover where nothing would be able to see you from that roof. But there is a 5-meter gap, and it's near the beginning of the walk where you're going to be completely exposed. So if you're going to try to get over there without him seeing you or her seeing you, then you're going to have to try to come up with something because you're going to be completely exposed. And this is due to just like a gap in the street without something, a broken car or something like that being nearby. I mean, even if you were to belly crawl, you're going to be exposed for a little gap.
Yeah, streets are open like that. So I relay this to Rockwell, and then I ask him if he's got any idea, like judging with the little like drone, whether they're aware of us or not, because that will change like what I will probably take as course of action from here on in.
I would just relay back, like, that scout is focused, almost definitely sees us. The others, there's an air of fear that I imagine is even almost palpable in the air in this desolate place, you know. So that I relay back. I also just want to check something.
Sure. So do you have any plans there, Carmine?
Well, Carmine was initially assuming that we were dealing with a trained sniper, just because, assuming the worst.
Mm-hmm.
That's something he's learned over the years. Just prepare for the worst, and if it's not the worst, great. You're not in as much trouble as you were afraid you were. So I would probably, given the fact that there's like, what we're assuming is 7 civilians around, and there's like one focused person who is clearly looking at us, or at least lying in our direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take the gamble that he's aware. I'm gonna ask Rockwell if he can, like, Rockwell's better with words than me, so I'm gonna ask him, Rockwell, can you? I know I'm guessing that this person is aware of us. Can you try to make sure that they know we're not a threat to them, to these people? Because I think that person will try to shoot us because they think we're here for them or something.
Okay, I would be giving Carmine sort of a look, like, but then nod. That does make sense. Try to defuse the situation peacefully. So I'll slowly walk in front of him, and I'll put my hands up. The drone is station keeping. It's probably got a view of all the people just in case. But
the drone's over closer to not exactly where you are, anyways. It's nearby.
Exactly.
Because it's ground mobile.
Yeah. No, I think it flies.
Oh, they said it doesn't fly.
Yeah, it hovers.
Oh, hovers. Yeah. So so you're gonna kind of step out from cover into seeing where it obviously
into
is.
Open air, yeah.
Yep,
like
absolutely.
I'm imagining a sort of like a courtyard or street type thing going on. Papers billowing in the wind. Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I'm staying in cover, by the way, completely like covered. Again, I still have my assault rifle out ready to cover him in case shots do start firing, but
yeah,
I make a point of not being seen because I don't want to escalate the situation unless we don't have to.
Mm-hmm. So do me a favor, what do you say as you step out there, Rockwell? What do you holler out the 30 meters?
I step out and say as loudly and clearly as I can. And boy, is Rockwell loud. He's almost like someone that might be in this call. So
am I loud?
No, not I just mean in general.
Wow.
You're a loud man.
Wow.
So it's weird, almost like there's some inspiration going on there.
Wow.
He's loud, he's an asshole, he's got a beard. What? Oh.
So mean.
He just come out and say hands up, but not like hands there, not weakness, just like I'm not gonna hurt you. We're here from the Alliance. We're investigating missing people in the settlements. We mean no harm to any human, to any person. Racism. We come across. We're seeking aliens, alien kidnappers.
Do me a favor, since you stepped out completely in the open and said that, roll me a perception check with a -2 because you're obviously focused. Wisdom.
I was assuming there'd be a talk coming up.
Oh, you will be. Okay. And now you roll me your talk check.
Cool.
Once again, charisma.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come out there more or less just saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friends. Please, don't be...
We're not here to hurt you. We're hunting aliens.
Yeah. Yep. So nothing happens? You don't see anything happening over there?
I will quite... I'll just sort of be there for a bit. And put my hands on my hips. Right. And just sort of like... I'll wait for a good 5 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And if nothing happens...
Nothing happens.
I would walk... I would beep boop boop, get the drone to follow me, and I would walk further into the town.
Okay, so you walk out into the open. Carmine, make me your perception check. Wisdom, please.
Perception, wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm. Because you're kind of like peeking your head around the corner, pulling it back.
Ooh.
Okay, so you don't see every once in a while you'll see like the glitter from the top of that building again, but you also notice that there's a bit more movement happening from over off to the side. Now, obviously, Rockwell's kind of like walking when he can't actively scan that because he's moving around and everything. So you notice that there's a bit more, like that group that had 7 people. There's a bit more movement and everything that's happening over there.
Does it look threatening in any way whatsoever?
Does it look threatening anyway? I mean, it's hard to tell. They're just like shuffling around on the rooftop, and they don't seem all bunched together anymore.
Okay, so they're spacing out a little bit. That could be a sign of them relaxing. It could also be a sign of them putting up a firing line. I'm gonna keep like on comms with Rockwell, updating him of what I see. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm just trying to stick in cover right now. I still have my assault rifle out, still hidden behind the wall, because I'm not trying to look threatening here right now, but I am definitely still on my toes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, what do you say to that, Rockwell?
I wouldn't say anything because I'm still out in the open, but I would nod, but I would just keep walking. And I don't know if this town has like, I don't know, a tower or a town hall. I would be very obviously walking towards that, even though that's probably not where the people are, because I wouldn't be trying to be like, I'm going towards the people, because that would be, I'm watching you. I'm going to kill you. So I'm going there.
You're gonna not walk to the building with a sniper. You're gonna ignore both of those buildings and start heading towards.
It's like as if I'm looking for someone to talk to. Is exactly what I'm trying to make it seem like.
Okay, cool.
The case is.
Then roll me a what would that be? A administrator. Administrator intelligence check to find out which building looks like the most official one here.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, perfect. So you're gonna walk out once you're there. You're out in the open. You're not being shot, and nobody seems to be moving or saying anything, which you think is like, oh, this is weird. You decide to look around, and you find a building that looks like it was very likely. Like, oh, I remember these markings and whatnot from my youth. This looks like it would have been one of the more official buildings, and you start heading over to that one. It actually, it looks like it's taking a lot of fire over the course of the years. A lot of fire, it's taking a lot of damage and whatnot against it. However, it was also designed to be very structurally sound, so it's in better condition than a lot of the other buildings around, despite the fact that it's perhaps taken more hits than the average building around. Okay? And so you start heading and you're making your way there instead. So once he starts doing that and just kind of like turns his back to where these buildings are, tactfully, not like an idiot, and starts slowly walking towards that building, Carmine, make me another perception check.
A lot of wisdom?
Please.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah, so not very good. You already know that there's movement happening up there. Now you can still see that there is movement happening up there, because you're already looking at exactly that. You can still see there's movement happening up there. Do you guys choose to do anything, or am I going to assume direct control?
I'd probably move around a little bit, like still sticking to the same bit of cover basically, but I'm trying to find a slightly better position to cover him because I assume I can like judge where he's going.
So if there was a building, which is a large rectangular structure or square structure, square is a rectangle, rectangle's not a square. You would probably have been in like a corner over here where you could have seen up the on one side where you could have seen up to the building, but then he kind of like moved out of your sight, so like hit up the exact opposite corner of the building, so you can still see them, but you can better see him now. And and so you move over to that, and you're behind full cover while making this. If there's like a window or anything that exists, duck under it. You're not dumb. And you make your way to do exactly what you had just said. Awesome. So when you go over there and make that happen, all of a sudden, Carmine, you notice, and you don't need to roll a perception check for this one, because it's obvious enough because they maybe never knew that you were there. There are 3 people that come out of the building that where they were on the roof before, and they're moving down the alleyways and whatnot, moving over towards Rockwell. Two of them are like you saw them for an instant as they moved from the opposite side of a building to underneath the one that had the potential sniper on top of it. And then another one is completely exposed and in the open to you, but behind Rockwell so he can't see him, and kind of runs over to the take cover behind a car. His back is completely exposed to you once again, has very solid cover for Rockwell. Rockwell, you have to roll me a perception wisdom check to see if you notice any of this.
Am I correct in assuming these people are all armed? Because that's the first thing I would be checking. Hang on.
I'll describe that in one moment.
I do not see.
You do not see.
I do not see. I am, going in blind.
No problem. I'm going to wait 2 seconds and...
I'm back.
Yep. So you do not notice anything, but one of the things that you do notice is the person that takes up the spot behind the car. They do in fact have an assault rifle on them. It is. You can roll me a no intelligence check. No, sorry, an assault rifle intelligence check really quickly.
It's just a dang old AK-47. It's so old school.
What do you need me to roll? Sorry.
A intelligence assault rifle check, and the other two you couldn't quite see if they were armed or not.
I like
boom
knowledge roll with the gun roll. I like.
How many bullets are in his magazine right now?
Yep. No, so the fun thing is the assault rifle that he has happens to be such an old model of assault rifle that it has a similar clips. Actually, this design has a bigger clip size than the one that you have. It was designed to have more ammunition. However, the amount of damage that it does, because it's such an old model, it's like negligible. Like it's one of those, like if he unloaded his entire clip, you're pretty sure Rockwell's shields would go down, but would probably be fine otherwise. If there's more than one combatant, however, well, that's going to be a concern. But like if we're talking no cover whatsoever, unloaded his entire clip on Rockwell, his shields are probably gone. He might be fine otherwise.
Okay, so am I correct in assuming he's actually got his pea shooter Mark 1 readied instead of like on his back?
Yeah, he's kind of like hustling forward and making his way there. I'm gonna allow you to make me one more check, and then we'll move things forward. Roll for me a. Where's the one that I want here? I suppose a perform wisdom check, please.
Wait, you want me to roll perform wisdom?
Please and thank you. Sorry, yeah, perform wisdom, please and thank you.
Yeah, just double checking that I'm not accidentally interpreting this wrong here. Okay, that's good.
Not bad.
I'll take that.
The way that they're moving and everything, it seems as though there is zero training with the movements whatsoever. Just kind of like hustled up to the car, slammed against it, dropped down behind cover and everything. The way they're holding the rifle, everything about them seems like there's zero training. All right, now, what do you choose to do, Carmine?
I would definitely warn Rockwell. Check 6. Just 2 words, short, simple.
Okay. Do you try to say them quiet to make sure that it couldn't be audible? It could only be calmed.
Yeah, quiet.
Okay.
I don't want to reveal my position yet.
Rockwell,
so definitely
you hear
what
that,
I would
you
do,
hear that loud enough.
Hearing that is, I would stop. Like I imagine I'm at the steps before this town hall. I would just be like, the drone turns, and I would just see through its eyes.
Sure, make me.
I would still be like this, but I'd like do that.
Roll for me your perception wisdom check really quickly.
Cool. Hopefully that car hasn't been left on recently and is still warm, because that would be very inconvenient.
No, it's all good.
One of them farted. That distracts you so much you don't see anything else.
With your sad little 5, you actually can't even find Carmine because the cover that he has is behind enough buildings and everything that is blocking the heat sensor. This one person, actually, let me correct that. You see one person with an assault rifle hiding behind a car behind you. That person, you can't identify exactly who it is, Carmine or otherwise. However, you're looking at it and you can see that the facial expression is not calm. You can see that there's like a bit of a panic to it.
Okay, cool. I like the idea that the drone especially when it's in heat mode, just kind of like tells you what emotion the person has.
Yep.
Like it's like beep beep beep, angry.
Yep. It's almost like
Cool.
speaking to a whatchamacallit.
Yeah. I will kind of acknowledge that, and I would be like, understood. But I would still be looking away. But the drone and its gun would be trained on the that person, not like locked on, but like, you know, ready to hip fire equivalent, you know, to spray and pray.
Okay.
More or less.
So I'm sorry, you said you turned around, or are you having the drone lock on?
I'm still not turning around, but the drone would be facing and watching that person and trained to shoot on it.
Okay, so the last one I want to roll for me a perception check, and then I'm going to really take action, is going to be you, Carmine. Roll me a perception. Wisdom.
All right.
Okay, with your 8 perception, all of a sudden you notice, like, as you're about to take action, whatever it is you're going to do, say something, jump out, whatever it is that you're going to do, as you're, like, really taking, or maybe you just intended to just really focus your aim on that person, whatever. As you're about to take action, all of a sudden you hear something behind you, a bit of a shuffle behind you. And when you turn back to look, you see that there are, in fact, 2 people behind you. One of them's a woman. She has an assault rifle in her hands, similar model to the other person. And the other one has a pistol. Roll for me a pistol intelligence check, please.
Pistol intelligence. Okay. Yay!
Not bad. That pistol, that's a critical success. That pistol that she has in her hands is a modern day standard issue Alliance military heavy pistol. That is a lethal thing inside of her hands with very little kickback and a lot of force. Quick look, because you have your critical success on there. You see that the pistol itself was designed to be a standard issue pistol. However, the way that the fanning is happening out on the side opposite her, where her trigger finger enters, so the left side of her right hand, you can tell that there's obviously been a modification to this one. The clip size is probably smaller because it probably shoots a larger rounds than usual. This thing actually might be even slightly more lethal than a typical heavy pistol.
Right.
Okay.
So we're probably in some sort of Mexican standoff right now. Me pointing my assault rifle over there, and I'm looking at the barrel of a modified heavy pistol.
And a sad-looking assault rifle. And Rockwell has, aim back that way, and there's 2 more that Rockwell doesn't know about that are kind of like fanning out. 5 that you're aware of. All right, so who says what, when, where, why? Anybody want to say anything immediately, or am I going to act first? Oh, wait, there's a way for us to figure this out. Isn't there, guys?
Tell us about this, Scott.
That's bad.
Oh, I think what you're supposed to do is choose your icon and roll for initiative to find out who acts when.
Yeah, I need to find where you put the dumb icon on this stupid thing. There it is.
Where I put your icon? Oh, from the old
If
combat.
only we had the proper art on these icons, Scott.
They exist.
Oh, that's right. They do. Do I have them as tokens yet, Ollie?
I can actually send you an email that, like, in the break if you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's leave that for the break then.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of breaks.
Wait a minute.
Are you ready? Are you ready for your break? We're gonna make this happen. We'll be right back.
You want us to roll initiative now or do a break now?
No, we'll get the tokens going. It's a good idea. I was gonna have a roll finish and cut to break almost immediately afterwards, but we'll be right back.
What?
What?